All right, welcome back, everybody. I just wanted to give you a brief update on everything going on in the garden, which is very happy to see all you guys watching, of course. Yeah, I know. First of all, any of you who were watching last season? Well, yeah, I guess that's about right, actually. Know that I've had some issues with this pomegranate, but it is coming full back into, and quickly, I might add. It's getting all sorts of new green leaves on here, new growth. Everything's looking good. Got to trim off the little things that are coming in at the bottom, but it's looking good. I'm really hoping that I'm going to get better results this year out of it. Every year prior, I get these kind of like ornamental pomegranates. They're tiny. They do have seeds that are okay tasting, but there's nothing special. And quite frankly, if this is an ornamental variety, I didn't plant this. It was here when I bought the house. If this is an ornamental variety, I'm going to pull it out of the ground. I've had it for many years, but I never really took care of it. And then this year, I'm going to do what I can. I took care of it, this last season, but it did better, but not what I wanted. And I'm going to give it one more year to show me what it can do. Otherwise, that room is better used for something else, maybe like a fig tree or something. Anyway, compost. Let's talk compost for a quick second here. It's been about a week, and you can see that I got brown coming through here. Still a little moist, which is good, and it is hot. I can feel the heat coming off through it, which is great. That means that it's doing well. Tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and turn this, and hopefully we'll see what the insides look like. But either way, I'm going to turn it about every 4 days or so, or maybe once a week, because I don't really have time to do it other than that. Until I got black gold. This stuff is going to break down a lot slower, but that's okay. I'd rather just have the ground covering for the moment. So let's talk about a blunder that I had here. This entire bed was filled up with squash plants. I had the butternut on this side, spaghetti squash on that side, and these two are zucchini. Put them out here, didn't give them any sunshade, didn't do anything, and within 24 hours they all just died. Didn't really think about that when I put them out here. They wasn't the smartest move on my end, but I immediately took that, and squash grows so incredibly fast. I immediately went and put new seeds directly in. That way they're already acclimated to the sun when they grow. And I don't really have to worry about that. So I put butternut on this side, I put spaghetti squash on that side, and then I did actually throw some acorn squash. I think they're actually it's a variety of acorn squash. I forget exactly what it's called, but I went ahead and threw those in there, and only a couple days later, I already got a couple sprouting. So that's good. I'm happy with that. And haven't seen anything yet out of the Tahona Odom squash or melon, but I'm gonna give those a little while, of course, to show anything. The zucchini also got a little sunburned, but I think it's gonna do just fine. It's got it's giving itself a bit of shade coverage, so I think it'll be okay. The tomatoes, on the other hand, acclimated very nicely. They are growing nice and big and strong, and everything's going very well with them. All of them seem to have done well with their transplants, and they are already putting out new leaves, new growth. They seem very, very happy. Quite a few of them have flowers on them, so I come in, every day and kind of, I see these and just give them a little tickle. Sounds stupid and perverse, but whatever. And that way helps them pollinate a little bit. The pepper plants are also doing well, putting out some new leaves. They don't seem to have too much transplant shock, So I'm happy with that. Apart from that, everything else is going pretty well here. I went ahead and pulled one of the radishes because I just, I wanted to see if it was, I know that, like, once it bolts, it's not really supposed to be great anymore. They only just bolted and they bolted like within like a day. So I figure, it's maybe not so terrible. They're tiny anyway. Like, honestly, the actual radishes themselves are not very big. Let's see if I can get in here, show you, because they really didn't. They bolted a little bit too soon on me there, but I don't know. We'll see. This one's got nice purple flowers. It's really pretty. Most of the others are all white flowers. I guess they've got a tiny little bit of purple in them. Some of them do. Beautiful though. I'm going to let these go hopefully until they get pollinated and create pods, so they'll have lots and lots of radish seeds. That's good. I just harvested some more kale today. I'm hoping that this guy will survive through summer and just kind of do its thing. I don't know if the other ones will. Mustard greens are pretty freaking hardy, so I'm hoping that means that they will survive the summer as well. It turns out one of my tomato plants that died in the frost here, one of them didn't all the way die, and I believe this is a flame tomato, but it's making a slow but steady comeback. Steady, yes. STCHDEADY. Steady. And got lots of basil popping up everywhere. And I'm hoping that is one of my Sikkim cucumbers over there. But that is definitely a yard-long bean. So we'll see. But I'm hoping that's what all that stuff is. And that's a beet. That guy right there in the middle. Not sure what I'm going to do with them. These are cabbage, Napa cabbage. Probably won't get too far into the summer here, but I don't know. We'll wait and see. And that is Brussels sprout right there. Also probably not going to get too far into the summer, but we'll see how that goes. Let's see how the rest of the garden is doing here. One side note, one thing I still got to plant out this year is my little mulberry tree. And it's doing okay where it is, but it needs, full sun. It is putting out new growth. But it needs to be a little bit happier. So I thought that would be a nice place for it. It's full sun for the most part. It's a couple feet away from the wall, so it'll have a little bit of afternoon shade until it gets a little bit bigger. But it is terrible soil here. So I'm digging through caliche. I've got to go about twice as deep with this one, and probably a bit wider as well. Maybe that wide at least. We'll see. For the moment though, it is really difficult breaking this stuff up, so I put some water in here. I'm gonna let that sit for several hours, hopefully kind of loosen up the soil a little bit. I don't know, it was an idea I had. We'll see if it works. Pepper plants are doing very well. Just as before, they're all putting out new growth. Some of them are starting to put out little flower buds. It'll probably stay cool enough, just long enough for these guys to maybe start producing some peppers. I figure, I'm not sure whether I should pick them off or whether I should let them have like kind of a first harvest here before it gets too hot. They're probably not going to get very big, and they're not going to ripen all the way on any of these peppers, but maybe some of them will survive the heat. I don't know. We'll see. The plants won't die from it, but I'm thinking maybe since they're already kind of established that they'll be okay. If anybody out there knows to the contrary and knows that I should pick those off, let me know. I'd appreciate it. The eggplant are all doing very well, coming back with lots and lots of leaves. Leaves are getting bigger and bigger, which is a good sign. And some of the basil is coming back just fine too. And this other Brussels sprout seems to be fairly happy at the moment. So we'll see how that goes too. The only other development I would say is that I went ahead and split up my guava plants. I left one of them in the big pot, but I put the other two into, I believe those are half-gallon containers, something like that. Want them to be able to have their own root space before everything gets all tangled up and everything. So I just did that only a couple minutes ago, but you can see that the dragon fruit are getting beefier, bigger and fatter. That's something I've noticed. Yeah, they're all looking pretty good. Got some new cigar leaves coming out on my bananas. I went ahead and put some horse manure, just a little bit on top of them, so that the next time I water them, they'll get some fertilizer. And my figs are doing very nicely. This one's coming back full force. Look at all that beautiful growth on there. Love it. Absolutely love it. I hope this guy gets nice and big and tall this year, especially this one. So this guy is, holding steady, but he's not really putting off new growth just yet. He's got a nice green top there though, so I'm thinking that it's only just a matter of time. And then the last thing, I guess, is my moringa tree. My first foray into replanting a moringa didn't go so well. They do not like being transplanted at all, not even a little bit. I messed around with its roots a bit too much. Luckily though, I had a second, and I was very, very careful with this one to not disturb the roots. It is still got a little bit of transplant shock, some yellowing of leaves, things like that, but I am pretty confident that it is going to be just fine. So that's some good news there. But yeah, it's not like completely yellowing, like all the way from the bottom up like the other one was. I left the root ball pretty much intact this time around. Gotta pull these weeds. So pretty sure that one's gonna do just fine and grow up, be a nice big tall tree that will hopefully create a nice big archway over here. So that's everything for today. I'm happy to be growing my own food as much as possible. I just ordered some new stuff, so in the next couple days I'll hopefully have 1 or 2 unboxings, and I've got some neat plans for the near future. So anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and happy gardening.